The Prime Minister's plans include a new unit to monitor small boats to try to prevent the fragmented approach of previous attempts to tackle channel crossings. Using sites such as disused holiday parks and former military barracks to house up to 10,000 asylum seekers waiting for decisions. An agreement with Albania, including fast-tracking removal of most Albanian migrants and placing UK Border Force officials in Tirana Airport. Restarting flights taking migrants to Rwanda for processing as soon as legal challenges are over, and legislation next year to stop anyone who enters the UK illegally from settling here. Our political correspondent Joe Pike reports.
Another Prime Minister.
Hi, I'm Rishi.
Another raft of promises on immigration.
Because it is a massive priority for the country to tackle small boats.
Today, Rishi Sunak toured the headquarters of the National Crime Agency to mark one of the first major moves of his premiership.
Enough is enough.
And whilst, as with the economy and public sector pay, he frames his new policies in terms of fairness.
It is unfair that people come here illegally. It is unfair on those who migrate here legally when others come here by cheating the system.
The PM is also trying to look tough.
We are the only party, Mr. Speaker, that has a plan to tackle these issues. A new small boats operational command in the Channel, deals with Albania and France, cheaper accommodation, tougher immigration enforcement, and new legislation making it clear in law for the first time that if you come here illegally, you cannot stay.
The comparatively empty Labour benches suggest this is not a priority for Keir Starmer's party, even if he realises it is a political danger.
The unworkable gimmicks go on. So do the crossings. We need to bring this to an end. That means a proper plan to crack down on the gangs, quick processing, return agreements, serious solutions to a serious problem, and that is what Labour will offer.
More than 40,000 migrants have crossed the Channel this year, a new record. The backlog of claims is now north of 143,000. And that's after 12 years of Conservatives claiming they want change.
Immigration has been too high.
You can only trust the Conservatives on immigration.
We simply cannot have a policy of saying anyone who wants to live here can do so.
Strengthening our borders and beefing up our border force.
In Parliament, those representing seats close to the Channel seem cautiously relieved.
They're a first step towards solving the many problems in the asylum system. I particularly welcome the deal with Albania, which has obviously been a particular problem with the small boats across the Channel. And I also welcome moves to take asylum seekers out of town centre hotels, including in my constituency in Ashford.
Whilst Red Wall MPs believe their jobs depend on backlogs being cleared and hotels emptied.
The devil's in the detail and the delivery has to follow, because if it doesn't, the Conservative Party will be out of the next election.
We've been promising for the past 2 or 3 years to control our borders, especially after Brexit. If we don't control them and we don't start sending people back and we don't see a reduction in the numbers and we don't see the hotels freed up, then we've got big problems.
You mean you're going to lose the next election?
More than likely, yeah.
But in the marginal seat of Crewe, some sympathy for asylum seekers.
They're trying to get over here for a better life, and we should be doing our best to give them that if we can.
If somebody's come from a war-torn environment that's unsafe or they're being persecuted, then you can't just send them back straight away. That's immoral.
There are so many immigrants that are not supposed to obey that rules. They must follow these rules.
Number 10 has now clarified Rishi Sunak is only committed to clearing about 2/3 of the current backlog by the end of next year. And while some critics have today called these policies cruel, ineffective and unlawful, some right-wing Tory MPs, including Boris Johnson, want the Prime Minister to go further with a new law to allow the government to ignore the European Court of Human Rights, which has helped block deportation flights to Rwanda. Today, Rishi Sunak has succeeded in giving himself time and space. But if he fails to deliver results, he'll likely get a frosty reception on his backbenches and at the ballot box. Joe Pike, Sky News, Westminster.